If you were having a bad time when you had kids, then it was about duty. So because you wasn't feeling good about it, and you were making quite a sacrifice, then you were producing kids out of a rational, intellectual, cognitive, dutiful behavior. So you're bringing somebody into the world that you decided calculatively, after you did the math, that I'm bringing somebody into the world to take care of. So I still got you. Because at the end of the day, you were having fun. My ex-wife said to me that Tiffany was a mistake. How can she be a mistake? Because we planned the other two, but we were having fun. So you're dealing with the issue of feelings and duty. If you're dutiful beyond your feelings, then you're going to do right by your kids if you're not even feeling good about the woman. And oftentimes, I love it. And oftentimes we allow feelings to dictate how we behave, particularly in our environment. See, my Caucasian brothers, they're paternal in their relationships. Paternal fathers. Fathers run things. See, everybody asks the question, why did all the white women vote for Trump as bad as he was? Because they wouldn't vote against their husbands. See, in our relationships with the women we have, ours is maternal, not paternal. Women run things in the black African American environment. And my dear brother, God never intended for you women to be that strong. Women are strong because men didn't handle their business. In our neighborhood, they're strong because we didn't handle our business. So our mothers took over. But here's what I want to say to all of our strong women is whenever you run into a good man, man down. You're used to being at 10 or 15, but you got a good man. Reduce it to 5. You know, I know the way to the grocery store. I know how to get to the gas station. You ain't got to tell me how to get to the gas station. I go to the gas station all the time. I put gas in the car when you won't. Just man down a little bit. Because oftentimes, particularly, I can't talk to my Caucasian brothers. I got to talk to my African American brothers. The white woman feels privileged. The most privileged person in America is a white woman, because she's always had a strong man. Hear me when I tell you. You can sit in a parking lot waiting to park, and she drives up and she'll drive right in that place and ignore the fact that you've been there waiting. All right, since you're holding out on me. I'm going to get really deep on this one. Imagine with me, you're in love, and I hear black people talking about, let's go back to where the black family was strong. When was that? When was that? Because if you're going to go back, you're going to take me back to slavery. And here I am in love with somebody, and the master can take her any night he chooses. Now, he decides to divide the family. He decides he's going to divide the family. And can you imagine her looking at you like, what are you going to do? Can you do something about this? Can you do something about the separation that's getting ready to take place? And I just imagine in my mind, knowing that I'd have to die to make a move. And what a man is looking for out of his wife in our community is not to feel like he got to fight at home as he does in the street. But because we have been so inadequate, she's become so strong. And she'll beat upon him. She'll beat upon him like he's a child. My second son, he has forgotten. But he was asked by a reporter once, what do you think about your father? And his answer was, he's my older brother who pays the bill. Now, he's never heard this, he's hearing it now. His assessment of me being the older brother who pays the bills is because his mother talked to me like she talked to him. That's my judgment. You follow what I mean? I'm the older brother who pays the bills because I'm talked to by a woman who never had a job until I left. And I had to buy another degree. I had to pay for it. The other degree. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm saying that a man cannot fight in the ring and in the corner. When he gets to his house, he needs somebody to work on the cuts. Because if he's fighting in the ring, he can't be slapped in the corner. You need somebody to soothe and make him feel like he can go back out and succeed. And more than anybody, black men need validation by the woman they choose to be with. So you can make or break him by how you treat him. He is seeking your validation more than anybody else's. He's waiting for you to say, I feel good about you. And much of his rebellion is when you resist being kind to him. See how quiet it is now? Because you know how to break him. You know how to tear him apart. Because what he's seeking more than anything is your validation. Now, I'm about ready to quit. The problem why our men are the way they are is because we raised our girls and loved our men. We taught you discipline. You couldn't come home the same time your brother could. Anybody with brothers here? Let me see your hands. You don't know what I'm talking about. What time did you have to come home? Now, I'm hearing right here beside me when the street lights came on. But your brother could come home anytime he chose. But you had to be in the house by sunset. Street light come on, you better be home. We taught our girls to say no because we figured we had to elevate the condition, the physicality. We had to elevate their pulchritudinous splendor. We elevated, we made them feel like they were significant with their bodies. A woman who is trained properly does not want to be on a long list. And I tell my brothers, you can do anything with a woman. Go out, go to movies, do anything. But the minute you touch her physically, something is coming due. Let me come over here. All right, maybe you didn't get me when I said touch her physically. While you're seeing her, you're going to the movies, you're going to dinner, you're going to the ball game, you're just having a good time, but you never touched her sexually. She can pay all her bills until you touch her. Now they're watching me all over the world. Once you touch her physically, something comes due. You know, I'm a little short on my phone bill this month. And it's because we have elevated the significance of her body. Now, let me take it further. It don't matter how brilliant you are. She may not have been to second grade. And you got a PhD, multiple PhDs. Once you touch her, everything's equal. Why? Because in raising her, we have elevated the significance of her body to the point where if she's raised right, she don't want a long list. Men can brag about how many women they've been. Since you're all holding out on me, I'm 68 years old. I walk in here with a 30-year-old, and all of my brothers will say, Bishop, you're a bad man. Let a 68-year-old woman walk in here with a 30-year-old man. I better quit. It becomes problematic. When a woman who is trained right, see what has happened is that we have messed men up in training them because we've allowed them freedom without discipline.
That's right.
But we raised our girls and we let our sons run free. So now we have a systemic problem. It's not tangential. It's systemic. It's a serious problem. I walk into the church. It's 60% women. And that's a good number because I'm man-friendly in my teaching. Now, because we're homophobic, we teach our girls to say no. And we elevate the significance of their bodies so that they say no. And particularly if they have a father who left a lot of dead bodies on the road. He doesn't trust anybody around his girls. Protects her, covers her, watches over her, covers her like a blanket. But here's our problem. I told you before, I'll tell you again. Because we are homophobic, we're glad when our boys like girls. Some fathers promote it.
Yes, they do.
And make arrangements for their boys to see girls.
Yes.
Some fathers tell them how to talk to girls because they're homophobic. So we don't teach our boys anything to say no. I can almost hear a rat licking ice in this church. So when our boys grow up, they don't know how to say no because they weren't disciplined to say no. Now, can I give you the real spin? Because we elevate the significance of the woman's body, so she'll say no, Whenever she goes with you, my brother, she wants you to be the last one. And if she goes with you, she thought about it for maybe 2 or 3 weeks. So now if he say anything to me again. Now a man can be going to the grocery store and run into a woman who makes a play, and without any type of connection, he's messed up. He don't want her. I told 20,000 women that if he's lying to you, he still want to stay. Security. If you ask him and he lies, he don't want you to know. But if he ever tells you the details, he's already ready to go. Y'all think about it. If he's lying, he's trying to cover his behavior. If you ask him and he tells you the details, he's already made plans to go. The problem is we raise our girls, but we leave our sons loose. Now, because I've elevated the significance of your body in order for you to say no, I've made you understand how precious your body is. So don't give it away. But I trained you to say no, but you're not trained to hear no. Because I had to elevate the significance of your body, and I had to tell you that the man is a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour. And I taught you the significance of your body. But when you switch it seductively, you know the strength of your body. Because that's how I taught you to preserve it. So you know the strength of your seductive powers. So if you move on a man seductively and he doesn't want to touch you, what's the first thing you think? Any man who refuses when you seduce, he got to be gay. If he don't want some of this, he got to be gay. Couldn't he love Jesus? Couldn't he just be a trained man? Now, for those of you who have had relationships with men and they've cheated on you, and you've banned every man is no good, what happens when somebody who isn't trained to hear no makes a move on somebody who isn't trained to say no? Should I go over that again? What happens when somebody is making a move who isn't trained to hear no and they're making a move on somebody who isn't trained to say no. It's going down. And this is the reason why most women don't like other women around their men. See, the problem, fathers, is you have already assumed that your man is weak. So just like the government, we got to stop the drugs from getting in the country, because if the drugs get here, somebody gonna take them. So that's why you call the other woman instead of jacking up your man. Oh. I'm putting all my 68 years in this. That's why you know his passwords. And you check the phone bill. Because you already assume he's weak. If he's offered it, he's going to take it. Now let me reverse it for you. When a man fires a gun at a woman who cheated on him, it's out of shock. It ain't premeditated. He's shocked. Most of you women who get in a relationship already factor in the possibility of him cheating. But a man does not get in a relationship with you and even think you would do it. Now, I've been preaching for many, many years, and I know when you got it. It's like having a wonderful meal. When the food gets good, nobody's talking. Today's Father's Day. It's my day. Nobody expects, no man expects the woman that he's with, that he's taking care of, nobody expects her to cheat. But you have already factored in that there's a possibility for my man to be weak. So I got to make sure there is no temptation. So you check his phone bill and you call up whoever you think is looking at him. He can't even shake somebody's hand too long. And it's a systemic problem because we raised you, but we allowed our boys to run free. And so on this Father's Day, we're looking for men to stand up, but who disciplined them and made them strong enough to handle their business? So now it brings me to a final point for the third time. And the point now becomes, do you love them as men or do you pity them? Because I'm saying to all black women, why do you think you have to have a black man. It goes like this, well, I'm just waiting on the black man to get right, to get straight. Sweetheart, let me put it to you this way. If a Korean, Japanese, Chinese, whoever will treat you right, and you heard it from a black man, whoever will treat you right is who you need to be with. I ain't racist at all. Whoever will treat you right. And so it goes for my brothers too. Whoever will treat you right, because God made everybody with one blood. Amen. And we haven't raised our boys. And you can't expect them to be strong men if you didn't put manage in them. I was raised, and as I opened and I'm closing, man means to manage. Take care of your business. I've never rented a day in my life because of how I was raised. And I have apartment buildings, and when the equity rises, instead of me having some big fat cow, when the equity goes up, I take it out of the house. I take it out of the apartment buildings and I buy another. Or I go buy an exotic car. Or I take a great vacation. Who pays for it? The renters. I take the money out, I do what I want, and the renters pay it back. I'm saying to my brothers, as I close for the fourth time, and I'm saying to my sisters too, because you got to be smart. You got to be smart. You don't have to wear Louboutin to have a pair of shoes. Slow down on the shoes. Slow down. You got $10 in a $5,000 purse. Let me see your purse. Jimmy Chan, Jimmy Choo, Susie Wong, you got $10 in a Gucci purse. $10. Why? You're driving a Mercedes-Benz up to an apartment. Talk to me. This is the best Father's Day message I ever gave. I'm trying to close. So the problem that we have is we try to impress you with things, and you try to impress us with your body. And it becomes a problem, because the first thing I'm going to say is, you just came after me for my money, but that's all I showed. Then you're going to say, well, you came after me for my body, but that's all you showed. And this becomes another systemic problem. And that is, nobody tries to see what your mind is about. And when you impress with your mind, you refuse a lot of ignorant folk. And what I'm saying to you is this, that everybody needs to be smart about how and what you do with your money. Because I will tell you this, you will be treated a lot differently if you bring something to the table. When you come to the table broke, you're going to be treated like you broke. But when you bring something to the table other than your body, I'm closing for the 5th time. Hit me, Patrick. When God made man and woman, the woman was not behind the man. She was not less than the man. See, I wish my brothers would understand this. She was out of his sight and she was beside him. She was equal. She was equal. Equal. It was sin that made her subjected to the man. Sin. She's equal. Her intellectual capacity, her psychological ability, intellect, creativity is equal. A woman is not less than you and I. She is equal. And when we begin as men, fathers, to treat our women as equal, relationships will be better. I'm closing. And you don't have to explain to any man why your woman handles your finances. If she handles money better than you do, I'm going to close for the 7th time. I'm sitting with my brother Max. We're out and we're at a place in New York with my sister Grace, down from Grace's house. We're at a place, it's an Irish restaurant, it's one of the best in town, and they serve just regular, it's like your home, the way they serve. So we're sitting there, all the families together, and Max's wife says, I made more on my bonus than Max made all year working. I got mad. The man in me rose up, and I wanted to jump on the table and tell her, don't you ever say that again. Then I remembered that's why I married her. So I'm saying to all of my brothers, stop putting women down because they're bright. If they said yes to you, you're the smart one.